welcome back to the Chance Bishop Show for episode 58 of our Madden 22 Philadelphia Eagles franchise mode. Kayvon Thibodeau picks up yet again another player of the week with another 4-sack game. Gets +2 to block shedding because we can't get any cheesy things, so no speed, no acceleration, nothing like that. And Jalen Reagor, last week Devontae had a $162. Great for Devontae, you love to see that for him. But Jalen Reagor was inspired. You inspired me, Devontae, he says. And, yeah, I mean, Jalen Reagor, you're a great player and all. You've definitely had a career year coming into... you're definitely having yourself in the midst of a career year. So, Devontae Smith gets 2,500 XP for just inspiring Jalen Reagor. And Jalen Reagor, give himself 150-plus yards receiving. And maybe pick him up a touchdown as well, and he's gonna get some attribute upgrades. You'd love to see that. Let's definitely try to feed it in for Jalen Reagor. We've been pretty good at this. He has this great route that gets him open. I always forget where it is about half the game, and then I just stumble on it. Goes, oh yes, there it is, and then I'll call it a couple times, every other drive or so, just to give him big old 20-yard chunk plays. That may give him a slant here and there too. Maybe bring up a big slant for 40, 50 yards. Sometimes he can do it. But right there, dislocated wrist for Master Teague. So we're down to our fullback, which is fine. It's doable. We can live without him. Not too torn up about it. But out comes probably the most overrated player in all of the NFL, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, Mr. Fantasy QB, the Black Kirk Cousins. Man, if Dak Prescott was as good as Kirk Cousins, he'd be averaging $40 million a year for the last 6 years. But Kirk Cousins just somehow finesses himself in just a guaranteed money. It's absolutely insane the contracts he finesses, that Kirk Cousins character. But yeah, no, Dak Prescott's just the Black Kirk Cousins. That's all he is. Got a thing. Look, really sit down and look at Kirk Cousins with Washington. Look at Kirk Cousins with the Vikings. And look at Dak Prescott. And you're going to be like, oh my lord. You're right. A guy who just he's a regular season player. Doesn't do anything in the playoffs. Gets a bunch of yards. Gets a bunch of flashy stats. But then when you dissect those flashy stats, you're like, oh. He threw for 400 yards. And 2 or 3 touchdowns, but he also lost by 30 points. So the defense on the other team was just we're gonna let you get these chunk plays, and we're just gonna let you kill the clock yourself by getting these chunk play completions. Yeah. Every time it just gets better. And you think in real life too, oh boy. The Cowboys are a mess right now. The Cowboys, they had to trade away Amari Cooper, who was making a good amount of money because they had to pay him a good amount of money because they traded a first-round draft pick from him a couple years ago. But they traded a first-round draft pick, got no playoff wins with them. Maybe they got 1 playoff win with them, doesn't actually matter. Nothing big came of it. They didn't win a Super Bowl with Amari Cooper. He wasn't great or anything. He was good, just not amazing. Sure, you know what I mean. But the only way to get anything back from without having to straight up cut him and lose him for nothing was to trade him for a 5th and a 6th, a 5th and a 6th round pick for Amari Cooper. Oh man, thank you Madden for having a very centralized, realistic Dak Prescott, 25 and 3, and I think those 3 interceptions are only because he only throws checkdowns. But Fletcher Cox saying, check down this. Big sack right there. You love that. 3rd and 17. Come on, Cox on Zach Martin's going to be a fun matchup for the entire game. But Prescott goes deep, and Prescott, flag on the play. It's going to be CeeDee Lamb, and who's going to take out Greedy Williams? I'm going to say pass interference on that one on Greedy Williams. CeeDee and Greedy get tangled up. But the funny thing is now, because they had to trade Amari Cooper, now it's just CeeDee and Michael Gallup, and they had to overpay for Michael Gallup exponentially. like 5 years, 65 million, something like that. It was 4 years, 65 million. But it was like 65 million, like 30, 40 of it was guaranteed for Michael Gallup. And it's like, gosh, people like Michael Gallup, but is he really worth like 12 million a year? Like, come on now. Like, does the teams not realize that you can't win if you're paying like a single receiver 12 million? Like, look at Philadelphia. They did the Alshon Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey had that massive, just gross contract, like a 3-year extension after the Super Bowl, where, you know, he was hurt, he was old and slow. Yeah, Michael Gallup, not a receiver who has a track of staying healthy for all 17 games on the year. Last year, having fantasy, he banged up for like half the year, wasn't he? So, I mean, that's kind of just the devil's advocate right there. You sign him up for when he's healthy, he's explosive, but when he's not, he is a liability because he's going to eat up a lot of cap. You got to think, definitely Dallas is regretting some of the contracts they've signed, like the Amari Cooper contract. You know, I think Lyle Collins contract, they're shopping Lyle Collins. At least the time of me recording this, they're shopping Lyle Collins. I mean, they could have already traded him by the time this video comes out. You know, Zach Martin, I wouldn't be surprised if Zach Martin's, if they had some discussions, some inner workings on Zach Martin's future here in the Dallas Cowboys organization. You know, Ezekiel Elliott, like, how do you fix that monstrosity of a contract? That contract is just albatross. And then you're going to get these guys like Trayvon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb. Like, you're going to have to pay both of those guys. How much you going to have to pay CeeDee and Trayvon? You know, it's like, at what point does Trayvon become which one do you go for? If you're paying Dak, you know, Michael. Because right now, those are the three big ones you have going into probably that Trayvon Diggs contract and that CeeDee Lamb contract. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, thankfully you had that 5th-year option on him. But, yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of question marks, I mean, that popping around in my head right now that I'm thinking of. Because, I don't know. I mean, I'm enjoying this series right now. But, like the draft's in April. So I'm recording this episode, and the draft's in a couple of weeks. I'm voicing this over, technically I'm voicing it over. Draft's in a couple of weeks, alright? And I am just excited just to start a new Madden series. You know, Eagles, you know, do we rock it out a little longer with Hurts? I don't know. It's like there's so many things I want to do in an Eagles franchise, kind of like to start over. Because this team's good. This team's very good right now. We were what? A game away from winning the Super Bowl. We were a win away from being Super Bowl champions. But it's like, it's kind of fun just to build up from the bottom. And I kind of like that grind, that push to try and win. But, you know, it's Dallas. What do you expect? You know, I think Trayvon Diggs, sure, had probably the most interceptions since 1952 in a single season. But then you break it down, he also allowed the most yards, at 962 yards, you know, in 1 year. He was the, like, 80th ranked corner, or like 50 something. I don't know. He wasn't a great corner. I think he was like 56th ranked. He was 80th ranked when it came to yards allowed. 80th. He ranked 80th on yards allowed to catch. How does that happen with a Pro Bowl corner? Oh, right, because they don't actually look at the stats. It's just like, oh, this guy has 11 interceptions, so this guy's good. You know, like, I don't know. Who knows? How are these? I don't understand how some of these guys don't get paid for. Like, Trayvon Diggs is gonna, like, if he has another good 2 seasons, because he's going into what, year 3. So if he has another good season this year, another good season next year, he's gonna demand a king's ransom. And who's gonna pay for that? Who's going to afford that right there? Because you got to think, Dallas might be handcuffed, you know, with everyone else. And I'm not sure what team would be in a position to pay Trayvon Diggs all that money. And then you had Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones might just try and fork it over But like, oh, we have to keep the band together. Gotta not let, our prized Alabama corner leave, who can't cover worth of anything. Gotta think, hey, he's not even a top 10 corner. He's the 56th ranked corner on Pro Football Focus. Now, sure, he has really good hands and whatnot, but he's awful in coverage. He commits to the diving interception, and if he misses, guess what? It's a touchdown. Happens. You know what also happens? Dak Prescott, awful game IQ. Just absolutely god-awful game IQ. Like, you gotta think, hey, this man, the 4th-round draft pick, has that whole, like, that underdog story where it's like, oh, man, I came in, and then I came, and I won the starting QB spot for America's team. I won it. And I won it myself. I came in the preseason, and I defeated everyone who was in my way. Okay. He also did that on the back of Ezekiel Elliott and an amazing O-line. But that doesn't get talked about enough, does it? It's just, oh, Dak Prescott's so good. As Josiah Scott right there picks off Spencer Rattler on that underthrown ball. 1st and 10, guess what? Interception's going to lead to a sack right there by Big Fletch. Big Fletcher Cox comes in, takes him down. Now, coming out again, 2nd and 15, play action. These play actions are really that good of an idea. I say that as then Dak Prescott just across the body, other side of the field, just pinpoint accuracy. But, I don't know. That's just probably no good. Devontae Smith, that's a catch though. 1st and 10 now from the 17. Sanders makes some people miss right there. Sanders pretty shifty, especially late in games. Doesn't tire out super quickly as Devontae picks up the touchdown. Way to go, Devontae Smith right there. Just showing his worth. Showing his worth here in Philadelphia. 1st and 10. There you go. Big sack arena by Fletcher Cox. You love that. Fletcher Cox just absolutely dominating Zach Martin this game. 3rd and 10. Oh, wide open receiver, and we throw it away. Why was wide open? Come on, 2nd and 10. Big Fletcher Cox, big Josh Sweat sack. Big interception maybe? No, just a wide open CeeDee Lamb pass. Okay. All right. Let's see how it is. 3rd and 6 now. Come on. Dak Prescott checks that down. Oh, whiffed on the tight end. Now, where are they going to mark him? They're going to mark him down for the first down. Okay, 4th and 1. 4th and 1. We were going for it. Zeke. Oh, come on. How did you not think we knew we were going to run the ball with Zeke up the middle? Like, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, as Quez Watkins just turns up field, just absolutely flipping field position right now. Big old catch from Quez. 1st and 10 now, rolling out to the right. All right, sideline, end zone, caught by Jameson Williams. An amazing catch right there, making this a 49-13 ball game. 9.5 left. Oof, Darius Slay diving pick. That's a whiff. CeeDee Lamb takes that to the 44-yard line. Now, 2nd and 3. Come on. Let's go. Let's get a stop right here as Ezekiel Elliott makes a man miss. He's in his X Factor, so he's near impossible to stop. Playing simple, he's going to juke. He's going to jump back and forth because he's just impossible to stop. Game's broken. 3rd and 6 now. Come on. Big stops. Big sack. Big something. End zone. There you go. Big hit stick leads to a field goal. That kick will be good, making this a 49-16 ball game. Rattler not showing mercy against Dallas as Dallas makes the catch. 431 passing yards right now, 4 touchdowns and an interception for Spencer. 1st and 10 coming out, rolling out into the sack right there. It's going to be Malik Hooker, the safety, picking up that hit. 3rd and 19, rolling out to the right. Rattler tries just to avoid DeMarcus Lawrence, and that's not going to be effective at all. So he goes down. First and 10 now. 4 minutes, just call it 5 minutes left here in the game. Check down, spin move. Okay. It's getting fancy right there. First and 10 now. Ezekiel Elliott still in that X factor of his. And wide open to Amari. Amari Cooper takes that down to the 27-yard line. Is that what Dak's ability is? Just like, hey, we're going to have wide open, easy passes that aren't contested. No one's in 10 yards. No one's at 10-yard radius. Is that sound accurate on what Dak Prescott's ability is? First and 10. That's going to be a touchdown right there. I mean, diving touchdown, 2-minute warning. I mean, sure, you just gave Philadelphia the ball left, and they're going to run out the clock. Mike McCarthy, not happy. Not happy at all, Mike McCarthy. Rattler, pretty excited, 49-23. Lawrence and Prescott shaking hands. Sanders shaking Dak Prescott's hand, going, hey, you wish you could have had me on your team instead of that Ezekiel Elliott character. And Dak Prescott's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're the better running back. You know, Miles Sanders is so much better than Ezekiel Elliott on such a better contract. That's not me saying that. That's Dak Prescott saying that. Dak Prescott said to Miles Sanders that Miles Sanders is better than Zeke. Now, 22 for 45, so less than 50% passing completion. $180 from Rager with a touchdown. You know, sack allowed by Goddard. 17 tackles by Drake Jackson. That's insane. Five sacks from Big Fletch. All right, just an absolute dominant performance from this Eagles defense, from this Eagles offense. Just everyone's be popping it. And Jalen Rager, super proud of himself. And if you guys are proud of Jalen Rager too, hit that like button. Jalen Rager's been working his butt off this entire season. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for Jalen Rager. Do it for him. Catch you guys on the next episode of our Eagles franchise. Peace.